these are the trials, these are the tribulations that you actually go through to be able to get to that point one day, which may be a year, it may be 2 years, it may be 6 months. You know, it may
Patience.
be, yeah, it could be,
Patience.
it could be any amount of time before you get that lucky break. And that lucky break comes with only hard work. It's not really a break. You know, it's something you've worked for, it's something you've earned. And that's something that a lot of people get confused about and see it in a different aspect because all you see is what's on social media.
All right, so welcome to episode 4 of Insure Your Greatness podcast. I am your host, Abraham Valera, and this is my guest, Frank. How are you doing today, my friend? How's everything?
Doing well, man. Doing well. I cannot complain whatsoever.
The weather is pretty good outside, right?
I love it, man. I love it. I suffer from extreme heat in the Miami heat. And I mean, just walking in the car, I'm usually having a heat stroke. So this is refreshing.
Yeah, especially here.
Windows open all day.
No doubt about it. Definitely. So, Frank, why don't you tell the people who you are and what is it that you do?
So I am the owner of Bright Shine Cleaning. We are a commercial cleaning company. So basically all janitorial services for commercial locations. So businesses essentially, not homes and things like that. It gets iffy. You know, so
it gets personal, right?
It gets real personal, and you don't want anything going missing. So, businesses is a good way to stick, at least in that aspect. Which I'm assuming you know. So yeah, you know, it's been a fun journey, man. It's been a fun journey. It's about, I want to say 7-8 months ago. We're almost in February, so 8 months ago that we opened up. Yeah, that we opened up, and we've been moving forward, man. Been moving forward. I quit my job like we opened it 7-8 months ago, then we're looking at like 6 months ago. So
when you say you opened it on your own, you got with partners or
no. Well, myself, I have a silent partner, but it's basically me, bro. I do all the legwork, I do everything, all the heavy and light lifting.
Honestly, sometimes even though it's probably harder to do it that way, it's the most rewarding, right? Because at the end of the day, every decision you make, you don't have to count on nobody.
Exactly, so, man. I mean, quick story. I had an employee, and she was actually going to do one of our cleanings, and she not only like quit on me, but she quit on me the day of, like an hour before the cleaning, bro. And I remember I went to it physically, and I went and I started cleaning, and I was so pissed off.
Oh, maybe she was a girl. She was like, "Yeah, this is too hard for me."
Whoa, whatever it was, she left it for me like that in my hands, and I was pissed, bro. I was so pissed. I was drenched in sweat. You know, like it's physical labor. So throughout that, I think to myself, and I'm just like, you know what? This is it. This is part of my journey. Yeah. This is the thing that I'm gonna tell my kids and be like, look, I did all of this to get here. Now that's why you have to physically work for this company, and then I'll let you run it. You know, so it's things like that I feel like it builds character, if anything.
No, 100%. And what is it that made you want to open up a cleaning business? Out of everything you could have done, why did you choose that?
Two major aspects. One, it's super low cost to open up. And realistically, when you're risking money, you know, you're wary about it, and this is the second business that I actually opened. So
how about the equipment though?
It is, but like initial cost, you know, initial cost, and then it pays for itself rather quickly. So
gotcha.
So I mean, like initial cost, it's a little bit high, but it's nothing like 40-50K that you would normally put into any new company. And besides that, service. I mean, in my opinion, services, like service companies, anything that provides a service is always going to be needed.
That's sure.
Everyone is always going to want a haircut. You know, you're always going to...
Not me.
Well, so most people are going to need a haircut. Well, look, you got a beard, bro. You got to go do your beard.
That's true. That is true.
Essentially, just at the end of the day, like your business needs to be clean.
Yeah.
If you don't have a clean space for your business, your customers aren't going to walk in. You're not going to be able to work properly, whatever it may be. that your motivation is to have your business clean, at the end of the day, it's something necessary. So offering something necessary usually gives reward.
Yeah, and you're always, like you said, it's always going to be needed.
Exactly. Service-wise in general. And then, I mean, service things is one thing, and then being able to service it properly is another thing too. I mean, it's easy to see if something's clean. It's very easy, in my opinion, to see if something's clean. So also overlooking, like, management-wise, and overlooking what my employees are doing at that point, it is very easy to tell if they're doing a good job or not. And it's easy to show up on site and be like, hey, what's this? And at the end of the day, I can roll up my sleeves and do it myself too. So there's a few different aspects of why, but I guess main two was initial cost, just actually startup cost. And then besides that, it being a service and being something necessary.
No, it's true. It's one of those businesses, like you said, if it's not clean, you can just tell. You can tell your employees did a good job, they did a bad job. So no, that definitely does make a lot of sense. Man, that's good, because sometimes, honestly, people see those type of jobs like, people, so much people are like in that luxury of like, they want to sit in an office. They see something like that and they're like, I'm not doing that shit. Like,
yeah, but at the end of the day, anyone that thinks that way is someone that I don't want working for me.
Exactly.
Why do I want someone that doesn't hustle, that isn't, and also that doesn't want to have an honest living? Because at the end of the day, yeah, you could be out there doing God knows what to make a quick buck, but at the end of the day, like, it really does that really advance you? Because easy money, first off, you're never gonna
doesn't exist.
And then again, work ethic and all of these things, like the way to find having those people that actually choose like hustle and honesty over people that just want luxury, like.
You want the people that are hungry, the people that are actually down to get dirty and do the dirty work. Because if not, it's like, if you're there just for the, like, to look cool, like, there's so many people that have, like, like little jobs and then they dress up all nice and stuff, which is, let me tell you, I'm all for dressing nice. I like dressing good, of course. But it's, when it's time to roll up your sleeves and work, you gotta put in the work.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, man. Bright Shine Cleaning, we got fly shirts, we got fly uniforms, so it's not like it's something that, like, they go in fresh, but it's just what you said. They have these little jobs. If somebody has a little job, it's in Brickell, we're in Miami, so it's in Brickell, let's say, downtown, beautiful view, but they're getting paid $9 an hour and they're making it seem like they're millionaires, like these are the things that it's like, it's all a mindset and it's all really what you want. I'd rather have someone that is humble and willing to, like you said, get dirty, but at the same time is not, it's not going to be late and is not worried about their next post and more worried about the quality of their work, more worried about advancing in the company. Someone that I can look for, that's my goal too. I mean, you don't need crazy qualifications to clean. You really don't. And if I could help people that need that don't have a way to get to a certain position in life, I would love to be able to offer that to someone. That's the goal out of all of this. I mean, helping, not only, yes, money, of course, money is a huge thing of why you start a business, but at the end of the day, if you can help your employees along the way, if you can offer health insurance, if you can boost them up some way or another, whether it be monetary wise or personal growth or however it is, that's something that I'm shooting for 100%.
Yeah, it's bringing value. You try to bring value to your customers and to your employees and everything else.
Of course.
100%. I did want to ask you something, Frank. I've seen, I don't know if you worked with her or what it was, like an online coach. Did you ever get an online coach at one point to try to build business and build it online and stuff like that? Or
so she's not my coach. She dedicates herself to women, to just working with women. Okay. And it's she does like women empowerment. She coaches. Her name is Amber Alexis. Check her out. She is.
I followed her actually. Her posts are great.
No, she's on point. She's on point. She's if I'm not mistaken, she majored in marketing and she traveled all over the world. Teaching English so that she could basically stay in these other countries. She stayed in Taiwan, Valencia. She's been around the world, and and from that she found what she wanted to do, which was make people or help people make themselves the best version of themselves. And she's actually a close friend of mine. We worked at her first job. It wasn't my first job, but we worked at her first job. We worked together, and she became a good friend of mine, and we've always stayed in touch. And it was seeing her do her journey. Like now, I think she's like a year deep. And when she called me, hey Frankie, I got my first clients. Man, I'm so excited for her. You know, like just the whole transition, the way that it's all unraveled for her is beautiful. And yeah, like we've talked on kind of discussions like this, and just helping her clients and anyone that follows her really to kind of understand what she does.
Yeah, because I saw you guys did like a video together, and it was just talking about like, you know, just getting better in yourself and all that. And I don't know. I didn't know you guys were friends. I thought you had like, you know, search out for a coach and stuff like that. And I only say because, you know, a lot of people do that. Like a lot of people look for coaches and stuff, and it helps tremendously.
I would recommend a coach to anyone. I mean, her in particular, the reason she isn't my coach is because she focuses on women. You know, like she focuses on that. Like that's her niche. You know, that's what she shoots for.
Yeah, man. No, that's because look, I've had a coach before. It was more like a life health coach. Yeah. And it was online. It was an online coach, and she helped me tremendously. Yeah. Like I was stuck in a big rut, you know, with anxiety and stuff like that, and she was just super good. So I know that having someone online, even if it's just online, not someone you meet in person, can help out tremendously.
Of course, it's having that support and someone to look for support, and they're not only always there, but they're always there in a positive aspect. They're never going to tell you, oh, just give up. They're going to tell you why you shouldn't give up. And that's a huge thing, especially what you look for in a coach. And I've never met someone ever in my life. Have I met someone as optimistic as Amber, and someone as, I guess like best foot forward wise, you know, like I've never. So I think she chose the perfect career path for her, and she's doing great with it. She really is. I'm so proud of her.
From the little bit I've seen from her Instagram, she looks like her. She's always smiling.
She is. Happy girl.
She's 100%. And so, Frank, your business, you've been open for how long? 8 months? 7, 8 months, you said?
8 months.
8 months. Where are you trying to take it from here? Like, I saw you were doing like social media for a little bit. You stopped that. You know, I know it's, you know, it's tough. It's crap to keep up with that.
It's insane.
Or, you know, like, do you like not want to do that? You want to just stick with, you know, just you know, face-to-face contact with people, or like, what is it?
So I don't mind the social media at all.
Yeah.
I was automatically, man, as soon as I started posting, I got attention, and I was like, hey, this is great.
Let me tell you, just real quick before you keep going, what you were doing, I think was perfect, only because even today and yesterday when I was going back to your post, it's not like, and I see a lot of people do this, not like you were trying to sell anybody anything. You were giving fun facts, helpful tips, and that's bringing value to people, and that's what people really care about.
Well, when you try to
come on as like call me. Like I see a bunch of insurance agencies that do this. I need a lot of people that, you know, do services, do this. Just call me. I can do this for you. I can do this for you. Like nobody wants that person. People want someone that's gonna bring them value.
So I don't want it to get confused either. I have the business Instagram that I was locked out of, like they blocked me or something for like 3 months, and I just literally last week got access to it. And so now I'm trying to get like back into the mode, and I'm feeding up some content for it so that I can continue to give different tips and things like that. I mean, obviously it's geared towards the business, and so it's all like cleaning tips and stuff like that. Follow Bright Shine Clean, but realistically, it's more of in that sense, it's more business oriented. Where my personal one, I kind of wanted to give like the truth. It's what I was saying earlier. I mean, we see these entrepreneurs on Instagram, and I live a lavish life, and oh man, I enjoy this, and they don't explain that they lived 10 years eating rice and beans and some eggs for 10 years before they were able to buy that first Benz. And it's not even a Ferrari, not a Lambo, none of that, like a Benz, you know, like, and when you don't understand that, or when you're young or something like that, and you see this, you're like, oh, bro, I can open up a business. I could do this. I'm just going to dive in. And then you end up setting yourself almost up for failure because you're expecting a certain result and you're receiving another one. And that's so discouraging. So I wanted to, well, I know you can relate 100%. I mean, I wanted to give that like, hey, listen, this is great. This is fantastic. I enjoy it. I enjoy being my own boss, but also these are the trials, these are the tribulations that you actually go through to be able to get to that point one day, which may be a year, it may be 2 years, it may be 6 months. You know, it may
Patience.
be, yeah, it could be,
Patience.
it could be any amount of time before you get that lucky break. And that lucky break comes with only hard work. It's not really a break. You know, it's something you've worked for. It's something you've earned. And that's something that a lot of people get confused about and see it in a different aspect, because all you see is what's on social media. So that was kind of like my goal and where I was headed towards when I came out with the whole videos at first when I opened up the business. And then honestly, I stopped because I opened up a business.
Yeah.
Essentially it's either focus on social media and try to be this social media personality and this is what I do, or it's actually tend to the business that's bringing money in now to be able to do that in a year, 2 years, or 3 years that I'm sitting at home not doing anything, because that's where I'm at that point, you know?
So exactly what you were saying right now, bro, you preached it exactly how I say it all the time. And I talk about this all the time because it's just, dude, people get so impatient about, it takes so much work to get to where, you see someone's chapter 20 when you're only in chapter 1 or chapter 2. So it takes so much work to get there. And it's just something a lot of people don't realize. And it's not only that. It's not just like, some people think, oh, being patient is kind of being laid back or just taking it off. No, you got to work your ass off every single minute of every single day for 10 years, and then you'll see something happen.
Exactly.
But it's not something that's just like, you just because you open up an LLC, which is the most easiest thing to do, that's not going to get you nowhere. You have to put in the work. You have to put it in.
And you have to be willing to risk. I mean, at the end of the day, you're risking. I had 100%. A $60,000 with commission. It was commission based too. Also, I mean, I had a salary, and then with commission wise, I was making about 60 grand each year. And I completely just walked away from that like a lunatic, to be honest. Like I look back on it and I'm like, man, I had some balls to do that, bro, because it's not an easy thing to do. And I wouldn't tell anyone to do it unless they are 100% passionate about, maybe not the physical. I'm not passionate about cleaning. Don't get me wrong. I love a clean house. I love I'm a very clean individual. But at the end of the day, it's not something that how is this room? Like I don't look at things like that like constantly. But I am passionate about managing. I am passionate about helping the little guy. I am passionate about one of our mission statements as a company is us. Once I reach 100 contracts, which is it may not take that as long as I've previously conceived, but once I do reach 100 contracts, I'm trying to set up like city cleanups, beach cleanups, which is, I mean, us being in Miami, it's a thing, and it's bad, it's sad, we see these videos all the time of what's going into the oceans and all of this, and at the end of the day, if I could do my part as a little guy, because at the end of the day, I'm not one of these billionaires that can afford to dump millions of dollars into some type of beach restoration or something like that. But if I could clean up a park in a lower income city, or just to help kids have somewhere to go, I'm gonna do everything in my power to do that. So that's kind of like it all geared more towards that. Being a cleaning company, it's like, well, yeah, we clean up parks. We clean up this, we clean up that. So we're cleaning the Sunshine State. That's kind of the passion wise that I went more towards, instead of the idea of like, oh, cleaning is my passion. It's not necessarily cleaning, but it's what comes along with it.
And the thing is, even doing things like that, even let's say even in a business aspect, it will bring you more business at the end of the day. If let's say people notice you that you're cleaning beaches, cleaning parks, doing this, like people will take notice of that. So even in a money aspect, since everyone's trying to make so much money, you would make money off of that.
Yeah, PR wise, it's great. Exactly. I mean, PR wise, it does help as well. But that's the thing. When you do PR just for PR,
That's why it does not work.
It has to come from you, from your heart. I mean, as soft as that may sound, you know, 100%. It has to come from you. You have to love what you're doing, and you have to have a reason for it.
Yeah,
you have to have a real want for it, you know. And that's where I felt like I was like, okay, this is feasible for me. This is something that I can set up properly to move forward, not only myself and my family, but also other families, other people that have nothing to do with the company, you know, nothing to do with the company. And that's like, you know, end game, at least for this company, where I want to end up, you know, just successful company, self-sustained, and being able to commence these projects, really.
Yeah, no, and trust me, I completely agree. Even look at me, like with how I'm trying to like put myself out online and everything. I don't really talk about insurance as much. It's all about just motivational stuff, so stuff that can actually give people value and that can help them out. Because no matter, and I say this all the time, no matter what your skill is, like that's really not that important. What's important is like, what's your mindset? How are you planning on starting this, or how bad do like fears and doubts get to you?
What feeds you?
Exactly, because if it's anything else, like if it's just to learn something, anybody can learn something. Especially nowadays, you could go online, you could go on Google, go on YouTube, you could learn. But what really holds people back is other people's opinions, right? People talking crap behind your back, or if you know, take other people's opinions.
Or even to your face, you know. It doesn't matter. The quickest way to ruin any type of advancement, career-wise, business-wise, whatever it is that you're pursuing, is by giving a shit of what other people think. If you do that, it's the quickest way to not being happy.
100.
It's the fastest way. You know, you can't. No one else is going to be able to feed your desire for whatever it is that you want other than you. You're responsible for that, and you really need to kind of grab a hold of what you want and what you love.
The thing is that not everybody's not in your head. So when you see something like you opening up, let's say, a cleaning business, right? Or me opening up anything, just any other businesses, it doesn't even matter what it is, but you have a vision that no one else sees. So there's no way that person can tell you what to do or what not to do, or how to do it or how not to do it, when you already have the vision in your head. Yeah, you can take advice. Like, advice is great, but at the end of the day, you're the judge. You're the jury. You are going to tell yourself what it is you have to do. And since you're the only one that sees it, because no one else is inside your head but yourself, you guys just got to trust with yourself, trust your instincts and what you're going to do.
And I mean, and that's the thing.
And it goes perfect with like you leaving your job. It must have been the most, like, people would be like, yo, Frank, you're crazy. Like, you're dumb. No one saw your vision, though. No one sees it. So it's like, and especially the people, probably your coworkers, are probably the biggest ones. Like, are you crazy? Because they can't see themselves doing it.
Of course.
So it's like, man, it's just how it is.
It's trusting in yourself, man. It's just trusting in yourself and in what you really, really like hold dear, what you believe in, what you feel is the right move for you. And it's when you're ready, man. Because realistically, like, okay, I'm 28. Yeah, I'm 28. I did it when I was 27.
Stop counting after 21. Right?
Yeah, I stopped at 25 because you can like rent certain hotels when you're 25, go on cruises alone. Yeah, you know, so I was 27 when I decided to do this, and okay, that was the right time for me to do it. The first business that I opened up, I was 22, bro. I was 22 and I had a storefront.
What'd you open?
A smoke shop, a head shop. And
I think I do remember something.
Yeah, man. And it was fun, bro. It was fun. I was making money and everything. Because of certain things, because of being young, that business is no longer open. Yeah. But that business, to me, taught me more than anything I have ever learned in school. I am a huge advocate of people, if you want to go to school, go to school. If you want to dive into classes, dive in head first, man. Get a career, do what you want to do. Personally, for me, I don't learn in a classroom. I don't learn in a classroom setting. I'm hands-on. I got to do things myself. I need that. That's the only way I learn. So for me, the investment that I put into that business was just the same as the investment that I would put into school. Yeah. It's just I enjoyed it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you enjoy something, even if you fail, you don't fail. If you learn something, you do not fail. And I learned a lot. Everything from not trusting certain people to how to advertise, how to market, how to carry yourself properly. And I was 22, man. I was a kid, dude. I was a kid. I feel still like I'm a kid, you know, like I still feel super young. So now at 27 was the right time to do this. Maybe everything goes great, fantastic. And my son wants to be an entrepreneur one day. I don't have a son. My son one day wants to be an entrepreneur, but he feels comfortable doing it at 50. That's great, man. That's great. Whenever you feel comfortable, if you want to go to school and then in 20 years you decide, you know what? I think I want to open my own business. It's the best time. Whenever it is that you feel capable of doing so is the best time.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't like failing. You really never fail till you really quit, right? Till you just quit on, and it's just not quit the business or anything, because you can quit this business, start a new one, and it's fine. But when you quit, it's just like, let's say your goals and things you had in your mind. That's when you really lose. Yeah. That's when you lost, because then that's when you're like you know your self-esteem goes to the floor. You think you're not good enough, and the thing is, no one's ever good enough. You learn, like you gradually get there. No one gets to sit in like the fucking being, you know, millionaire, not failing and not getting up there. You have to go. It's like that meme that you've seen, like road to success. I think it's like this, but it's really like that's how it is, man. Exactly. It's gonna have your ups and your downs.
I mean, I constantly put out into the universe, or whatever you want to call it, but I say it nonstop. I will not die working for someone other than myself.
Yeah.
I will die whether this company, God forbid, something happens and tomorrow we close. It's okay, because I will open something else. I will not. I may go back to work for a few years like I did when I was 22. I went back to work. I made my money back. I paid off all my debt, and I waited for the right moment and I pounced. And it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. It's waiting for that right moment to take on the challenge that you feel you're ready for.
100%. And the thing is also that I feel like being an entrepreneur is like the thing, right? Like everybody is trying to be one, right? And it's because honestly, not even, you know, some people do it, some people fail, some people don't. Point is though, I think we are in the best stage of life to be able to do it. First, you know, if you're young, it's a plus. And we're like in this digital space where it's like, people start a business and don't even open up a shop. They have an online store.
You don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do it's just.
You don't even have to have storage. There's what's it called? It's like drop ship. What is it? That you're like the middleman. In a company. You don't sell anything. You buy it from someone else as they order it, and then you just ship it to them. Like that's literally all you do. Like there's so many ways to make money digitally and easily nowadays that there's no reason that you wouldn't. But at the same time, my best friend wants to be an anesthesiologist. So it's all about what you want, whatever makes you happy.
You know what? And this is something about entrepreneurship that I think about all the time. I feel like an entrepreneur doesn't have to be someone that opens up their own business. Like a doctor could be an entrepreneur. He could be an entrepreneur.
They open their own practice.
Exactly. Well, they can open up your own practice and just you govern yourself. Like you know exactly what you're gonna do. You try to provide for people. You try to make something grow. I think really what it is. And when you do that, you know, even if you're like a vice president of a company, but you can still be your own entrepreneur. I feel like entrepreneurship doesn't have to be you have to own your own business and that's it. Like you could be an entrepreneur of, I don't know, anything. You could be a doctor, you could be a nurse, you just have to be able to grasp yourself and have control of yourself.
And I mean,
a lot of people don't do that.
There is though this, like you said, this new thing of like entrepreneurship. And at the end of the day, like some people may feel like this is what I want to do. But like, from as soon as you think about money and like, I got to get a job or whatever it may be, automatically like, I want to be an entrepreneur. When I graduated a year early, so I was like 10 or 11 in middle school. Or like I was like in those middle school ages. Mm-hmm. Bro, I'm not, and I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. Me and my boy, we went and we bought 2 boxes of candy. From those 2 boxes of candy, we sold them, paid ourselves a little bit, read up, bought another 4 boxes, kept buying. By the end of that school year, I had 3 other kids selling our candy, and we weren't doing anything. When I'm talking about like at 12 years old or 11 years old. And that money in turn bought my first car, my Honda Civic. Yeah. That money ended up being, and like I saved it and saved it. And I bought my first car from it. And this was only for like 2 years, you know? And then, I mean, obviously, you know, like I would still do things. I always did things. That's the thing. You need your lawn mowed? Perfect. Let's do it. Oh, you want me to wash your car? I'll do it. You know, when I was a kid, even as a kid, it was like, nah, man, I want to self-govern myself. I want to make my own money. This is what I want to do. I don't want to work for someone. Although I have, obviously, you know, like as soon as I was of age, I jumped into the workforce. But, yeah. And when I say of age, I'm talking about 15. So, you know, I dove straight into working, and I've literally worked my entire life until the points that I did open businesses. And then I worked harder. It wasn't like I stopped working. I worked even harder.
Okay, so that time frame from like 5 o'clock in the afternoon to 11 o'clock at night, what you do in that time frame, I think to me is just super important, because that's where most people use to like relax, watch Netflix. You got to do the little things like probably do laundry, cook, whatever, this and that. But the majority of the time, what you do in that time frame has changed me forever. And that's this time right now. Look what I'm doing. Right? Yeah. It's just progressing to keep going forward on what it is you want to do. I think that's just the most important thing. Most people, once they leave work, or even if they have their own business, but you know, they put themselves a time that, at 5 I'm done, I'm gonna close, I'm gonna go home, whatever. Dude, there's so much time for you to still after. Like, the only asset that we have, that Warren Buffett has, that all these billionaires, millionaires have, is time. What they do with their time is very, very important to them. So what we have to do with our time has to be the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, being organized with your time and making sure that you seize every moment of the day 100%. is crucial. You do need to have a balance though. 100%. Because I mean, if you dive into it and you're like, bro, fuck this, I'm gonna work burn out 16 hours a day. Exactly. You burn out, bro. You wake up the next day, you got bags under your eyes, you're irritable, you pop off at somebody for no reason. Like, all of these things are you can't create a recipe for disaster either. You know, you have to have you have to be able to look. Last night I went to go watch Bad Boys. Fantastic movie.
Oh man, I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah, no, awesome. So like, you just need some type of disconnect throughout your week. It all comes with when everyone says, that work-life balance. Yeah, that work-life balance, when you're starting a business, it has to be a lot more work than life. I can tell you that. But you do need to make sure that if it's 30 minutes, you love watching whatever show and it's an hour long, take your time, watch the show, enjoy it. Even if it's at 1 o'clock in the morning, give yourself time to disconnect. I enjoy playing video games every night. Or not every night, but you know, I can't do it every night. But I'm not 12 anymore. But you know, a few times a week, I'll jump on and I'll disconnect, man. I shut off reality and I refresh my batteries. I go to bed right after. I wake up and I attack the day, bro.
Let me tell you, that work-life balance is 100%. But what I have noticed though is that a lot of people, when they get too burned out off of work, is because they're doing something they don't like. Like those people that work and they're like, they can't wait for the weekend. They can't wait. Bro, I literally know people that they love their job because how many days they have off. Yeah. Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, that's insane. You're working at a job because you love all the days you have off, and it's not a place you want to be at, right?
I mean, but it's a common thing. There's a song
of course.
There's a what's the name of this? It's an old song. It's everybody's working for the weekend. That song, it's such a broad amount of people really like follow that method, and like they're like, oh man, I just can't wait for my days off. I can't wait for my days off. And it's like, dude, you can't wait for your days off because you hate what you do during the week.
Exactly. You know? That's why people like, you know, and trust me, I'm all about balance because, you know, there's times I meditate every weekend. Every weekend I go to a meditation center that's in Key Biscayne. And I go every Sunday, try not to miss a Sunday. I have missed Sundays, but man, if I miss more than like 2 or 3, it's too much. So I go every Sunday. We meditate from 9 o'clock to 12.
God,
I do that all the time.
That is serious, bro.
Every Sunday. Well, and there's even weekends that are longer. Last weekend, we had what we call a Zen weekend. We meditated Saturday and Sunday. And I meditated from 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's crazy. And I know, but you know why I do it? Because meditation for me has been a lifesaver for me. It's been like, meditation is like, you know, work out, you build muscle. Well, this is the biggest, most important muscle we have.
Yeah.
And in order for me to keep doing everything that I'm doing now, I have to keep my mind right. And in order for me to keep my mind right, I meditate.
Well, I don't want it to come off in any way that, like, I as a matter of fact, I'm a strong believer in meditation. I just don't meditate that long. I meditate daily. I meditate every day I literally start my day off. I wake up, I brush my teeth, and I meditate for 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day. Bare minimum.
10 minutes.
Bare minimum.
No. And 10 minutes is perfect.
And that's the start.
Yeah. I do that much just because it's kind of like, you know, whatever. I
build
go
up from the week. My back is stressed.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't meditate every day like I used to before. But, dude, like in the beginning of 2019 to like maybe July, August, I would meditate every day at least for 25 minutes. I have an app called Timer. That you would just press the timer, meditate for 25 minutes, and it'll ring and you get off. I will do that every day, dude.
Yeah, there's even apps nowadays that like remind you to meditate.
Yeah, there's Calm, there's Headspace. Yeah, there's a bunch. I've used them all too, but Timer I like the most just because my meditations, I like it silent. I don't have those guided meditations.
Yeah, I don't like people talking to me either, bro.
My practice of meditation is a Zen meditation, so it's just complete silence. There's even when we meditate for 6 hours, there's no one talking. And we go out and eat and everything. Like we stay in the studio to eat. We don't talk. Not talking ever. Wow. So it's quiet. Like there's nothing but it's just the sound of people outside and the sound of like you know, chewing. That's it.
Wow.
For like half a day. But you know what, man? It's honestly something that opens your eyes to like, you know, other things. And to me, it's really made me realize how little, like, life is so, like, passed by so fast. We get stressed. Like, sometimes I'll be so stressed out. I go to the meditation place, and I'm just like, man, why was I so stressed out?
Well, because right now we live in a time and in, like, a society that you don't live in the moment anymore.
Yeah.
Bro, something's going on. Beautiful sunset is going on. And instead of you sitting there and watching it, you're taking a picture to post it on the gram and be like, oh, my God. You know, like, look at this sunset, you know, like, and it's like, bro, just sit there, enjoy the sunset, sit there and enjoy your kids laughing and giggling. Don't record it to put it out to get a viral video, you know, like enjoy the actual moment, learn to live in the moment. And that's what meditation is really all about. It's learning, you know, we get so distracted all throughout our day that's why I do it at the beginning of my day. And then I try. I'm not gonna lie. My meditation at night is more my video games, but you know, I try to shoot like 5 or 10 minutes right before I go to bed, like literally as I lay down, and I almost meditate myself to sleep because it's something that it allows you to reflect on the day without reflecting on anything. It allows you to just shut off your mind and shut down your everything that's driving you nuts, because we're all going crazy. The anxiety is through the roof. Not only for you, you mentioned anxiety a little while ago. Like it's not only for you. Yeah. This is across the board. I mean, I have it, dude, I've been having an asthma attack. I'm asthmatic, and I've been having an asthma attack, dude. And I literally have had to sit down. I've meditated through it. Like that's insane to me. I've always rushed and gone to my medication. But I read a while back that too much of the use of that medication could like mess with your heart. And the side effects on your heart are rough. And I don't want to put myself in any bad scenario. So I was like, man, there has to be another way through this. And breathing techniques from breathing techniques of the Navy SEALs that I've looked up and I've actually practiced, all the way to meditating, and all of this all across the board has worked for me in a different way. Yeah. And it's something that I completely understand. So I didn't want you in any way to think like, oh no, I was just shocked. I was just shocked how many hours you do it. I'm like, bro, not at all, I don't have that type of attention span, bro. Like I get the reaction all the time. I gotta move.
No, not at all. Trust me, I know. So what is it that you do? Like you say you meditate a little bit in the mornings. Do you have like any rituals or anything, that you do when you're like stuck in a rut? You're doing something. Let's say your business is just one of those bad days where it's just like, breathe in. I don't know. You know, I have many people tell me different things.
Bro,
You just exercise. I don't know. Some people just.
Exercise is great for some people. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll exercise and stuff, but it doesn't, like, honestly, exercising to me is I throw on headphones and I'm focusing on the workout that I'm doing, but my head is still running and I'm just still going. The only thing that really brings me peace in this world is my two best friends, these little hairy guys, my big girl and my little dog, my little old man. And they help me disconnect. They're the only things on the face of the planet that no matter what I've done, no matter what it is that I've done, no matter who I've told to go fuck themselves that day, will come up to me with the biggest dog smile on their face, wagging their tail and excited to see me no matter what I do. And those little animals, we don't give them enough credit. That's my happy place. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no. And that's, man, when you get love from other people, and especially dogs are so unique in that sense because they're always happy to see you, right?
Man. Yo, I'll scream at my dog to get down, and I'll smack him, and then he'll be like, "What's up? You want to play?" And I'm like, sure, we'll play. Why not?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. And it's just, so many things. Like, I know people that, they write in their journal. They have journals. They write at night, or it's just there's so many things you can do to really, like, stress throughout the day is never gonna go away. That's what I feel like a lot of people don't realize. Like, you either gotta face what's going on, or it's either you deal with the stress, or the stress is gonna deal with you, right? Like, it's gonna deal with you. You're gonna break down. You're gonna have a nervous breakdown. You get sick. So, nah, man.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, people, the reason that phrase exists, people are under the impression like, oh man, when I get rich, everything will be okay. I won't have nothing to stress about. And it's like, bro, the phrase "more money, more problems" exists for a reason.
Man, I forgot who said it. I love quotes, and
That's
I forgot
Biggie
who
Smalls,
it is.
Man.
No. Yeah, that one I know. But there was someone that said, I wish everyone could hit the lotto so they can see that money doesn't fix half your problems. Something like that. And it's like, I don't know. I haven't hit the lotto. I haven't even come close to making that much money. But yeah, I bet. Like, I can just internally know that's money is just money. Like,
yeah, bro.
If anything, it just gives you more problems. Really,
yeah,
more problems at the end of the day.
It's just different types of problems, like, and that's what people don't understand. And there's always going to be a reason to stress. There's always going to be a reason to get upset. There's always going to be someone that pisses you off, someone that cuts you off in traffic, something that gets under your skin. It's always going to happen. So it's being able to deal with that and being able to really, like, kind of center yourself and not let the shit of the day make your life shit.
Yeah.
And that's something that, like, people just don't understand, man. People don't know. I see people get tremenda lucha. I don't know how to say that in English.
Yeah,
overwhelmed, I guess to say, with any issue or problems, and it's like, bro, if you can't resolve it, just chill, man. It'll work itself out. Exactly, bro. Exactly. The whole crying over spilled milk, like it's just like just chill, man. If you can't fix it, it will get fixed eventually. And if not, it's okay because you can't fix it. Why are you gonna stress about something you can't fix? If you could fix it, get your ass up and do it. Like, if you could fix it, then just move. If you can't, then let it ride, man. Let it ride.
I said this the other day too. There's a saying that goes, if there's a problem and you can fix it, don't worry about it. If there's a problem and you can't fix it, don't worry about it. Like, there's nothing you could do.
That's perfect. That's the perfect quote. Yeah, I mean, like, it 100% is true. I mean, there's no way, or there's no reason to rack your mind up on unsolvable issues. Like it's just, if there is a way to solve it, then put it into fucking action. And that's it. And get it out of the way. Just knock it out of the way, and that's it.
People overthink too much. That's the problem. And the thing is that if we're so used to overthinking, our mind, imagine, how many thoughts do we have a day?
I think it's like 10,000 thoughts a day.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Right?
I'm pretty sure.
I just know it's a bunch, right?
I'm pretty sure.
And dude, it's just, we live in our heads way too much. We live in our heads, and it just drives us crazy. That's why, meditation is just one of those things I honestly recommend to everybody.
You shut it off.
It's something you just, it's not like they don't stop coming. They're always going to come. But you realize, like, wow, I'm just the observer of these thoughts coming in and out. Like, I don't have to react to them. If shit's going bad, then they go bad. I'm not gonna go crazy, get into the spiral about what am I gonna do, how am I gonna do it. Just let it go. You keep moving forward.
Bro, I think my senior quote was just chill, it'll all work itself out.
Yeah.
I think that was my high school senior quote. This was what, like 10 years ago, bro?
Words there.
Yeah, man, as a kid, bro. Like, I've always felt that way. Like, bro, if you can't fix it, don't worry about it. You know, like, it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure it'll all work itself out, bro. Like, as long as you're not hungry, and if you're hungry, find a way to eat. And I'm not talking about robbing. I'm talking about, bro, like, there's people that like what happened with this guy, man? What's his name? It was like Young Jock or Yo Gotti or some shit like that. He came out that he was like Lyft driving or one of these that they have in LA. They don't have it here. But basically he was driving. You could look it up afterwards. But he basically gets like spotted by a passenger. Like, oh, ain't you? I think it's Yo Gotti, bro. Aren't you Yo Gotti? And like she kind of bashes him a little bit. Like, oh, what happened? You fell off. And it's like, bro, this guy is making money. He's trying to be decent. He's hustling. Like, what's the fucking problem?
People are always gonna throw shade.
Like, yeah, but that's insane, dude. That's insane. How are you gonna throw shade to someone being honest? Like, what, you want him to actually go and drug deal so that he can get arrested and then end up in like locked up? Is that what you're shooting for? Is that what you want from like, are you a fan of someone and that's what you want for them? You know, like it's just insane. And that's like, yeah. I don't know, man. To me, it's like, just go out, be honest, get what you need to get done, and that's it. That's it.
Joe Rogan, his podcast, obviously super famous.
He's the shit,
bro. He was talking about that once. And he did Fear Factor for a super long time, and then he stopped doing Fear Factor.
Which, if you look back on it, he is hysterical in all of Fear Factor.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
It's super funny. I watched it. I watched, like, I don't know what platform it was on, and recently I watched it. Fucking hysterical.
He's awesome.
Bro. I'm sorry. Go back.
He's awesome. But he was in Fear Factor, and there was a time, I guess, after Fear Factor that he wasn't really doing anything, and he stopped doing things for a while. And he was I think he said he went to like a CVS or Walgreens, and the guy was like, "Oh, aren't you Joe Rogan? Aren't you on Fear Factor?" He's like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Damn, it sucks to fall off, right?" Joe Rogan said he didn't say nothing, but he wanted to bash that guy in his face.
And
like,
he could have.
Yeah, he could have. And it's like one of those things like, what? Like, people are so negative to you, right? So negative. And that's actually what I was going to ask you next.
It's like, bro, you're working at Blockbuster. What the fuck? Like, who are you to say that?
Let me tell you, talking about Blockbuster, man, Blockbuster would come back into like the Netflix world, the world of streaming. Bro, you know how nostalgic Blockbuster is? I think I would just pay a membership for them just because it's Blockbuster.
The same shit that happened with Disney, bro. The same thing that happened with Disney.
Of course. I don't know what's wrong with them. Like, I know they messed up not buying Netflix, but dude, I don't know. They gotta get it together.
Literally, that nostalgia, yeah, bro. Like, I mean, I forgot what I was cleaning at. Like, I'm sure it was a wallet, but I found a
Blockbuster card?
A Blockbuster card, man.
Dude, I think it was my nephew. He still has one. He's like, he hasn't thrown it out. Something like that. But it's funny. My next question I was going to ask you, though, was going back to that. It was like people being negative and stuff. How important is it for you, Frank, to have the people around you? Like the people you mostly interact with, your business partners, or, the people you keep around. How important is that for you and for like having your own business and growing in the whole 9 yards?
Well, I mean, the famous quote, if I'm not mistaken, is "You are a sum of the five people five people that you spend the most amount of time with," or something like that. But I mean, realistically, all that I could recommend to anyone that wants to start their own business, to anyone that wants to live a happy fucking life, is not necessarily your partner, like your girl or your husband or your significant other in that sense, but in general, whoever you have next to you, whoever your support system is, make sure that they're a fucking support system. They can be a support system. They're not a drain you of your life system, because that's huge, man. Like luckily, my partner, she's great. My wife is fantastic. My best friends, we're very, very close. I mean, it's and we all. You don't get negative vibes from them. Luckily, I have friends like that. I don't have friends, anyone that is anyone that's toxic, I cut them out. No, but like anyone that is toxic though, I cut them completely out of my lives a long time ago. And you don't realize it right away. Like right away, you're kind of like, damn, I miss this person. They were cool to hang out with. But then you start realizing, you're like, damn, but these people, they don't make fucking fun of me. They don't say that my idea for whatever the fuck is stupid, or I'm just an idiot, or, whatever it may be. Like they don't say anything like that. I mean, granted, a lot of people don't talk to me like that in general, but at the end of the day, it's having people that support your wild fantasies, but are also realistic with you. Like someone tells me, right, and look, it's not out of this world. And I mean, look at Elon Musk. But I'm saying, like, if one of my friends comes up to me and they're like, hey, I want to build a rocket and go to the moon, like, I'm going to be like, bro, is that really realistic for you? Like, are you an engineer? Like, what, why do you think that you could do that? You could
be critical and still supportive.
Exactly. It's like, oh, okay, well, you want to build a rocket to go to the moon. Okay, well, first, let's try to build one of those water bottle ones that we used to do in high school or in school or whatever, like those. And like, you got to start somewhere, bro. Like, I want to see you starting somewhere instead of just doing whatever you want to do. So like you said, being critical and at the same time being supportive, compassionate, like understanding that person and understanding even why they want to do things like that, like whatever it is that they want to do. So I think it's super important who you keep around you. I think it's super important who you keep around you, because at the end of the day, they are influencing you drastically, whether you realize it or not. You hang out with someone for a little bit too long and they go like this. What I'm doing right now, they go like this, and you'll notice that in 2 weeks, you'll start going like this. When you're talking, you'll start doing, you do mannerisms, like just, like things that people bring into your life consistently, you start putting those things out as well. So you can be a good influence on someone, but also you want someone to be a good influence on you. So you gotta play it properly between you and that person, and you whoever it is and whoever you're keeping around you in your circle. But at the end of the day, it's super important, and I feel like if you have a strong support system, if you have people who genuinely care about you and care about your well-being, it's the best way, and it's one of the easiest ways to live a happy life, for sure.
100%. Yeah. You pick up people's habits, their good ones and their bad ones, no matter, the people you're with. So yeah, the longer you stay with them, whatever their habits are, you start picking up on things and you start doing them as well. So Frank, what are you looking forward to with your business for this year? Like, what do you have? Is it just like, do you have any plans that, you're trying to do, or are you going to just keep going, same route you're going now? Like, what do you have going on for your business?
I mean, to be honest, we're pretty stable right now. Clients seem happy, everything, like I do constant like checkups with my clients. I call them, I at least do a quarterly call to make sure that, like, hey, quality's good, you guys are happy, everything's good. Okay, great. Besides that, I mean, honestly, just getting more contracts, I'm putting a lot. I technically doubled fully what we were putting into marketing, like on Google ads and things like that. I am generating or creating as we speak content for my my social media platform wise, business wise. Soon I'll probably start creating content as well for my personal one, but I'm focused more on the business right now. And then when I have a story to tell, I'll be able to tell it. So it's I'm not so much worried about, actually, I saw on your last podcast, like what's next. I'm not so much worried actually about what's next, because what comes next is probably a different business. Like I want to branch out. I want to have a few different set incomes, and then, just have a different setup, I guess you would say at that point. But what's in like the instant future type deal, or what's next in that sense, is to keep building. Just keep building.
Yeah, just keep going the same route.
A strong foundation so that so it never falls,
Just going back to what you just said right now, just because I'm in the space also, get clients. There's most people are, trying to create their own business. They try to generate clients. How do? You do it with Google ads, or do you put like you invest a lot in Google ads, or how do you go about? getting clients?
So there's various ways depending on your business of how you would go about doing that. First off, you need to study your business, whatever it is that you do, and attack it properly. Me personally, Google Ads is probably the best avenue, just because the way that a company looks up a cleaning service is they tell their secretary, hey, we need a cleaning service. And they're like, okay,
Google.
And they
First
jump on
thing you
Google.
do.
Yeah. First thing you do. So that avenue is very, very lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
Now, also, when you have to think outside the box. Like I'm about to announce a raffle. I'll give you guys a preview. I'm about to announce a raffle for people that bring me leads, and whoever brings me those leads are going to be able to get a prize. And you have to create leads. You have to have something. I mean, I have phone sales
Mm-hmm.
in my career, or in my past previous jobs. I have face-to-face sales. Sometimes it's doing what you don't want to do, which it's very, I'm not going to lie, for my type of business, it's very difficult, but going from business to business and just offering your service, letting them know who you are, letting them know you're alive.
Yeah.
No one will know that you're alive unless you put yourself out there.
Yes.
No one will know what you're doing unless you put yourself out there. And it is breaking your comfort zone. I know that's a huge thing. Everyone talks about breaking your comfort zone. It's because it's important. It is so fucking important.
Yeah, everybody talks about it until they have to do it. They don't want to do it. Right?
Exactly. And bro, I've walked into places that legit, I'm like, hey, look, I do this, giving them a flyer, and they've straight up been like, oh, okay. And I've seen them like not toss it in the garbage, but that's super disrespectful. But like toss it like on their counter, and and I know they're never gonna look at it again. And I'm like, oh well, there goes $250 or however much a flyer costs, So it's like it all just depends on what type of business you have, because also if you drive around and you see people handing out flyers all the time for brick and mortar businesses. So it just depends on what it is that you're basically looking for as your clients or as your customers or whatever it is that you have. But at that point, it's doing the research. You have to do market research. You have to. That's the main thing before I would tell anyone to do before spending a penny on marketing. It's reach out to someone that strictly does that. I have someone that actually works just my marketing, and he does a great job. My website, I have no idea how to make a website. My website looks incredibly
great.
on point. Yeah,
I saw it.
It really does.
I was like, wow.
I promise you, the only thing I know how to do on a website is click on the different links. I don't know how to do anything else. When I have a problem, when I see something that like, hey, listen, this was messed up. Oh, okay, I'll go in right now. Boom. 2 minutes later, it's fixed. Yeah. I tell them, hey, bro, listen, it's a long weekend. Cut off the Google ads. No one's gonna be looking right now. He flips the switch, cuts them off on Monday, flip them back on. Whatever it may be. Just to be able to. I mean, because also you want to spend properly. If you're putting $1,000 into ads or $10,000 into ads, you don't want to do it over certain times in the holidays.
Yeah.
When half of America is out of the office and no one's looking for that.
About
it's being strategic and having. But I didn't know that. You get what I'm saying? I didn't know that shit.
Experience.
I didn't know that shit. Bro, I'm by trade. I'm a salesman. Like that's what I do. So. Yeah, I'll sell you on anything, but how I get those leads, how they got people to call in or how they got people to walk into the business, I don't fucking know how they did that. You get what I'm saying? But what I did was I reached out to someone who does and paid them to do it for me, but I'm not an idiot either. If I'm paying you to do something for me, I want you to tell me everything you're doing.
Yeah.
And why you're doing it. And that way, the day that you decide like, hey, listen, man, I'm closing my business, or hey, listen, bro, I'm only working with XYZ accounts because I have too much work. Oh, okay. I know how to do what you're doing. You taught me how to do what you're doing accidentally, but you taught me how to do it.
Yeah.
In this circumstance, I mean, honestly, my marketing guy is awesome and he's not gonna leave me. But the point is that it's being able to not only learn, because that's the main thing. You can learn something from almost anybody, but it's not only being able to learn, but it's also outsourcing to the proper channels. Because if you can't do everything alone.
Yeah,
you can't do everything alone. There's no such thing as a one-man band.
Yeah,
if there was, it would probably be happening all the time. People don't get along,
Yeah, exactly. No, that's completely true, and it's true for me. Like, And especially going back to what you were saying with the flyers, and man, that happens all the time. What I'm doing right now as well is just like I send out a bunch of mail to everybody, right? Do I expect something back? I hope, but it's one of those things like I'll probably get one out of like 300, right? One guy probably shoot me an email, right? And it's just the way it works. Like you can't, the conversion, it can't be something crazy. That's why even in sales, like when you're in sales job, the conversion ratio, at least for like insurance, is so low. Like you get so many leads. So it's just one of those things people get discouraged. So they stop doing it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things you gotta keep beating that drum. Once you keep beating that drum, it's almost like you have like moments of, what do you say, like momentum that you build. And then that momentum, just carry on to the next, and then of course just keep going.
I mean, and that's a huge thing too, the overcoming objections, like overcoming that doubt that people put into your mind when they say no. Bro, hearing no sucks. But when you hear that yes.
But no is not never. So even they tell you no now, it's not never.
Exactly.
So you keep beating that drum. You give them that flyer again 2 months from now, and then 3 months from now, and then one day.
And maybe one day they call you. There's been times that, they legitimately tell you yes to your pricing. You closed. You closed. You're like, bro, I closed. All I didn't do was get the card. I closed. I did everything that I was supposed to do. This is perfect. I'm going to give them some time to think about it and give me a call back. I'm sure this is a done deal.
Yeah, man. Those
and
are the worst.
You never hear from that person again.
That's why the saying goes.
You got to be okay with it, though.
The saying goes, never count your chickens before they hatch.
Exactly.
Until you don't receive, until it's all done, you can't count it.
Exactly.
And that's happened to me so many times where someone's told me, oh, yeah, I'll do it. We're going to do it tomorrow, definitely. Like, everything's signed, ready to go. They don't make payment. It's just like, oh, no, I went with somebody else. I'm like, what?
It's like, why would you?
Wow, but it happens.
I mean, it happens. It happens. I'm like, because I've experienced that, I'm not that type of customer, but not everyone has experienced that, man.
Yeah.
If you work in the medical field, you don't sell shit unless you're selling medical equipment, which is an awesome sales job, by the way.
Yeah. I've heard people make a lot of money.
Yeah. That's one of like the highest paying sales. But like that in that case, you don't know what it is to be a salesman or how it is to leave someone else, because all you do, you service.
Yeah.
It's completely different, So like, I don't blame people for doing it. Like, it's understandable. Okay, you found a better price. You decided to do it on your own. You decided to do something that, something that wasn't with us. That's fine. And you have to be willing to be like, okay, next one.
Exactly. You got to move on.
If you let that shit eat you up, it will destroy you completely. It'll destroy your mental. It'll destroy your emotional will. It'll beat you up, and you will get beaten up, and that's okay. Getting beaten up is totally fine, but it's not about how many times you go down, but it's how many times you make sure you stand back up.
Yep.
You can go down 10 times in the ring, bro, and if you stand up 11, at least it'll go to the cards.
Exactly.
You may lose, but it'll go to the cards, and you got through the fight. Look at Rocky, the movie Rocky. I don't know if your fan base has seen it, bro. That's an old movie, man. But in that movie, the only reason that he was like a great he lost the fight, the big fight in the first movie, he lost the fight, but he went the distance. And he was a schmuck from the streets, Yep. And he was able to go the distance with a champion. And that going the distance, being able to at least weather the storm, is a huge part of your kind of your self not self-doubt, your self-confidence. It's a huge thing. It weighs in. It really weighs in.
Yeah, because you don't give up. You keep going.
And man.
The thing is that you shouldn't give up, only because, man, if it's like I saw Gary post this the other day, and it's like some guy was talking about, oh, he wanted to be this crazy movie director, but he stopped after DMing like 20 people, and Gary was like, this is your dream life. Like, this is what you want to do, and you give up after 20 DMs? Get the hell out of here. Like, it's one of those things. You got to keep beating the drum, keep going. Consistency is so key to doing everything. You just got to stay consistent. And I don't mean consistent a week, a month, probably not even a year. Stay consistent for a while. I'm going to give you a perfect example. This podcast, I've only done, this is my 4th episode. Bro, I don't expect nothing from it. Not even to like episode 90. Like, I follow some guy and he said on one of his videos that his first 50 videos on his podcast, they were just the biggest mess. He didn't even think about them. He was just putting them out there. Like, it was just nothing to him. And he didn't start making money off like podcasting. And that's after, because whatever, it's just extra money because he has his own businesses and stuff. After like year 4. Like, dude, you think if you're going to tell someone in day 1, you're not going to make a cent until year 4? No one's going to do it if they're in it for the money.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in it just because, I like talking to my guests. I like, want to learn from them as much as I want other people to learn as well. I would like for myself, just insights from other people. Like, that's where it's really at. That's where it's really at.
I mean, if you feel that 90 is going to be that marker, you can save this one for 90, bro.
Yeah, we could. We could do that as well. No. I'm always like,
I'm happy to be number 4, bro. That's perfect.
No, and I'm going to have people, if I do this for a long time, I'll have people coming back. Like, I'll have another shoot.
No, and I'd love to come back, bro. I've had a great conversation, bro.
100%.
And that's the thing, man. It's the dynamic of learning everything that you've talked about. Maybe I've heard some of it, but a lot of it I haven't.
Yeah.
And that's where it's at. It's being able to people you surround yourself with, man. It's being able to understand different points of view and going out of your way to see why. Like, why do you like? And I know why you're doing this. Like, I understand why you're doing this, and it's that's the way that you're leading your success, and you're gonna get to your success and where you want to be. Exactly. That's huge.
Exactly. So, Frank, for the last question of the night, I asked this to all my guests. So, question pretty much is, if you have like one thing that you've learned throughout your life, whether it be business, whether it be personal, whatever it is, that you can teach somebody else that it could bring them complete value, like something that would definitely help them out, no matter whatever it is, what would that one thing be?
Money ain't shit, man. Go for happiness. 100%. Go for happiness. And a lot of people think that money will buy their happiness. Money can buy company. Don't get me wrong. But it ain't going to buy you happiness. It's not going to buy you love. It's not going to, and get a dog. That's another thing. Get a dog. But, money is a motivator and is something that will make your life drastically easier. But happiness is where it's at. Happiness is key. Happiness is what drives us and what helps us wake up every morning. If you're in a shit scenario and you have a bunch of money, it doesn't change that you're in a shit scenario. It's about being happy. I'd rather be broke and happy than rich and sad, bro. 100%.
It's like that saying, I'd rather cry in a Ferrari than in a Corolla.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to cry in anything.
Exactly. I'd rather be happy as shit in a Corolla, right?
I'd rather be happy on a fucking bus bench, bro. Yeah. Like, I'd rather, than like, why would I want to cry in anything, in any type of vehicle? Exactly. In anything, dude. Like, it's.
But it's a lot of the mindset people have.
Yeah, of course. And it's sad, bro. But at the end of the day, man, shoot for happiness and you'll never go wrong. You will never go wrong.
All right, my friend. It was a pleasure,
brother.
Bro, it was awesome, dude.
It's been good. Awesome. It's been fun.
On to the next one.